Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. It is time again for this week's Konya Mario. We are here with episode 35 to talk about the latest things going on in Hello Project this past week. We have a really long show for you this time. It actually seems like it might be a little bit longer than usual, so let's get started right away as to not waste more time with filler stuff. Actually, before we get started, let me introduce you to everyone in the studio today. We have, first off, Turbos86 from everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes. We next have Invis. Say hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh, nice. And we have Senrio.
Squirtle, I choose you!
Yes. And last and always least, we have Ouroboros.
G'day. From Australia this week.
This week, huh? We have a very exotic cast, so let's get started with some Hello Project news. And
Punch.
Yeah.
no news sound. There we go.
Right, forgot about that.
So I guess first thing, you guys probably all are aware of Mano Erina's graduation was
What?
announced.
No, what? What's going on?
Whoa!
So she's leaving next spring, February 23rd, at her own concert. If you're in the area, go check it out. I'm sure it'll be a very cheerful event with all the Manofure about to commit suicide right after the show.
Oh.
In happier news, we have Riho's second photo book announced for coming at the end of August. It has a French title, which is kind of interesting. Would anyone like to take a stab at pronouncing this?
Let's see.
No.
Let's have the European pronounce it.
Yeah,
I don't even know what it's called.
Undustros.
that's. I give that a 3 out of 10.
That's good enough. Well, it's 1, 2, 3, so I got 3. That's perfect score, right?
Yeah, perfect score.
Unfortunately, I'm English and we hate
um,
French, so apparently. So I can't pronounce it properly.
So it'll
doesn't
be
help.
interesting. Second photo book. Everyone go pre-order it now from Wani Books. Order the 10 copies so you have your chance of getting a Riho autograph. That's very important.
And when you order it, you gotta count in French too.
Right, of course. Last news, we have shocking news from Reina's blog this week. She cut her hair
Oh.
to pretty short length.
Tails. No, we're
It
twin
had-
tails.
She's going to have the little dinky twin tails she had when she started off.
This is probably more sad than the monograd announcement.
Oh yeah.
No comment.
Yeah.
No comment.
So we'll have to see how that works out. Maybe, well, actually, we have to find out if she still puts glitter in her hair or the silver streaks for the thingy.
Oh, that's a good point. Need more pictures.
Yeah.
Reina, blog post now.
Yep. Let's hope she keeps on doing that because that's a pretty awesome tradition for herself.
Yeah, agreed.
And
Looks like she does. Looks like she does.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not rock chick enough though, is it? It's a bit cutesy.
Looks
It's
fine.
it's not bad.
It's no big.
Yeah.
It should be enough.
We just won't have Reina Musubi for a few months. But
Yeah.
that's okay.
It's still longer than Mano's hair.
That's true.
In your face.
Right.
Wow.
On that note,
Moving on.
I don't know what to say.
let's move
Okay.
on to our main discussions. So we're going to cover quite a few topics today, and yes, we will eventually get to the monograph topics, but we'll save that for the end of the show. First off, we're going to talk about something actually that's been floating around recently. We've noticed a lot of Berryz Kobo activity, at least from the fan side. We've seen now that Chinami's going off to Thailand, and she's had some PR event or something, and they're doing this cover song now, and all this stuff going on. Published in a magazine article a week or two back, there was an interview with actually Captain and Chinami that we kind of want to bring to everyone's attention this week. It feels like a pretty candid article. It's stuff like not necessarily Hollow channel level because that's still somewhat filtered and held back a little bit, but it feels like it's one of those something you would expect to see from an OG after they graduate and they write one of those books about like their life in the idol world or whatever.
Yeah.
And so essentially, Captain goes into some history about what's her personal point of view of how she's kind of grown up as an idol. And so one of the first points she brings up is that she goes way back into the early beginnings of her career in Berryz Kobo, and she starts off talking about when she was first selected to join CYX. That was kind of, in her opinion, kind of a big promotion for her, a big deal, definitely. Being selected as one of the young kids to join this huge group with Yaguchi-senpai, and like she thought big things were in store for her. However, shortly after the whole shuffle group thing blew by and that kind of died down, Captain found herself shoved off to the side role pretty quickly, and she got to talk about that for a bit and say, just in general, kind of how depressing that was for her after having really high hopes for what she could have accomplished as an idol if things kept going for her the way they did at the beginning of Berryz Kobo.
Yeah.
Yeah, any thoughts initially about this?
Well, at the beginning of the Hello Pro Kids, it was pretty much anybody's game. So I wouldn't blame her for feeling like that at the beginning, especially how she got selected out of the, how many was there? 14, 15 girls?
15.
Yeah.
I think so.
Definitely 15.
Yeah. So, to be selected out of the 15 to join a shuffle group like that, that probably meant something to them. And then to have nothing afterwards, I would say a pretty big blow.
Yeah, I mean, to your ego, to your self-esteem, especially at that age, must be kind of rough. If you think like all of a sudden you're in the spotlight and then now you're just like on the side, not getting any lines, not even in front of the camera.
Yeah, but wasn't that the same time that around when Yaguchi got in trouble?
Yeah, I think that's the reason the group stopped, and then they reshuffled it.
Right, but I mean, that's not like, unless you're trying to say that.
Yeah, but she can't blame Yaguchi for that.
No.
Yeah,
but
no,
I
She's
mean,
not doing it, so yeah.
But I mean, it's like she was kind of on a high note, and all of a sudden,
Right.
that kind of went away kind of quickly.
The thing
Yeah,
is,
and it didn't reestablish itself once it was over. Like normally you would say, "Oh, I'm doing well from here on. I'll get more things," and then nothing really happened off of it.
Right.
She's still
But
the
then to be
leader
honest,
of the group, though. Of Berryz.
but the thing is, it doesn't mean anything to be the leader of that group.
Well, out of the 15 who were initially chosen for the HP Kids, she was chosen to be the leader of the only group that was formed at the time.
Yeah, because she's the oldest.
Well, I mean, to say that
Well, yeah.
leader doesn't mean anything now, because we've seen in retrospect, we know it doesn't mean anything, but it could have meant something.
That's true.
Mm.
I mean, it only played out that way, that it happened to not mean anything because they decided not to push Captain in any way.
Well, and we're talking about back when it was first formed, which the shuffle groups were really big things then.
Right.
Nowadays when we see shuffle groups, we expect them to disappear, rather quickly after
like
they're
a
over.
one and done single kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they don't
Well,
even bring out singles anymore, do they? They
Well,
just
that's- yeah.
form the cons.
Because the singles are usually not good enough to be released nowadays.
Yeah.
But back then with CYX, she said that big things could have been in store for her. But I would also, to take the other side, perhaps by the time of the second single, they would have made favorites already, even within that group. So maybe she would be in the back anyway.
Are you saying in ZYX or in Berryz?
Yeah, in CYX,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So, well, we don't know, but
That's
like-
true.
so I'm just thinking, if she is planned to be put on the side, maybe that would have happened even if that group was still going around.
That's
which is
absolutely
too bad.
true. I mean, we don't know actually what the company's intentions were. It's just that I think from Captain's point of view, she thought there were big things in store since she got picked to join that group. So
Oh, I meant third single, because they had two singles. Right.
Right.
Having that said, Captain is awesome. We all think she's underrated.
Right. Um,
Absolutely.
right.
She's my favourite Berryz.
And so, I mean, and then she goes on to say a couple of other things. Most recently, in the recording for one of the Berry singles, Otakebi Boy, there was a time when they did the initial recording for the first track, and Sunku heard it and said he wasn't completely satisfied with everything that they heard in the first round recording, so he told everyone to go back in the studios and record it again. I think he said something like it wasn't energetic enough for him, or something about the screaming part. I can't remember, but so what happened was he asked all the girls to go back individually to the recording studio, separately, of course. They all went on their own time because they all have different work schedules. But for the second round of recording, Sunku showed up personally for each of the girls except Captain, Chinami, and Masa. And from Captain's story, it was because that they simply could not get their schedules to match up. That's kind of understandable. Both of them are always really busy. They don't necessarily have the same schedules. But somehow, for the other girls, your, I guess, main stars when you think about Berryz, your Mia, Risako, and Momo, Sunku was able to schedule up with them, and he personally showed up at their recordings to make sure things got done right. But for the other three girls, Captain was kind of surprised that Sunku, I'm sure he tried to schedule something up, but I'm guessing he didn't try very hard if Captain was bringing this up, or there wasn't that much communication going on in terms of scheduling a time that works for both of them. So she kind of feels like for that single, and maybe in general, for the girls that didn't meet up with Sunku, are we just not important? Are we not needed for this song? And that's kind of how she left. That's what the impression that left her from after recording this song. Any thoughts on that?
It's interesting that we always know and can feel the girls are jealous of each other.
Right.
Whenever this kind of thing happens, they know who's the favorite, who's the most popular girls in the group, and how the fans and other people react. But it's interesting to see them lashing out now to give off what they actually feel inside. And it's funny how the management would let an article like this get published.
That's true. But I mean,
Yeah.
I wonder, I get the feeling it's one of those things where they're close enough where they can lash out at each other, kind of like siblings.
Mm-hmm.
But only because they've been together for so long. I mean, I don't think something like this would have come out, 5-6 years ago.
Right.
It's
I
only
agree.
now that they've kind of been together so long that really, regardless of what they say, aside from some relationship scandal, nothing's really going to change what happens in their career. I mean, it's not going to go up or down. So.
Right.
But to have this interview,
She's not
to be
blaming
published,
anybody. So.
except Sunku.
Well, yeah. Well,
Well,
not directly.
it's not like she's lashing out about some people quitting or things like that. Wink, wink. Anyway,
To be honest, it
Yeah.
seems like she's almost written it to sort of push the boundaries of the interview. Now she's reached 20, so she's an adult, so she's allowed to say what she wants, almost.
Maybe
It seems to be almost Captain's Guide to Getting Yourself Kicked Out.
Well,
Right.
maybe when she hits
Entitled.
20, she has tenure now, so she can't get kicked out.
Oh, she has a pension plan.
She's.
I
got-
bet she just renewed her contract, so she's like, ha.
Yeah. I just signed a 3-year extension. Screw you all.
I can say whatever now.
Yeah. Mia actually has a long chin. Yeah.
But still, I'm very surprised that this got published because it's not good image for the girls themselves or
Well, it
for the
depends.
group
I
overall,
mean,
for the company.
it does show them as very down to earth and human when they have these kind of internal things going on. They're not that perfect idol image. So if that's kind of your thing, then it could be really appealing.
But I can't imagine a lot of people thinking that girls who complain are like their thing, even though it's not like a huge complaint thing. So I don't know. It's just weird. Maybe that's why, like, maybe the management doesn't care about what Berryz say anymore because they don't care too much about Berryz anymore.
Well, we're not talking about a captain graduation today, so obviously they're not doing
today.
anything yet.
You're right, not today.
Yeah, the summer tour is kind of long. That's... No, just kidding, Captain fans. All one of you out there.
And you're talking about yourself as well.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Oh no.
Yeah, but okay, so and then it gets kind of, she goes on about that topic and she says, her whole experience, it's been kind of weird, and she just in general has been wondering how long is this gonna last? Like, how long is she gonna be on the side? Is she ever gonna get a breakthrough chance? You kind of see in the other groups, namely Morning Musume, more recently in C-ute, but not that significant, I would say, that sometimes there's a rotation for singles, and like members that you don't usually expect would get a big center role sometimes do, and that's surprising for everyone. But
Are you trying to say that Chisa isn't significant?
yes.
Unfortunately, in this instance, that's kind of true.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there are times in the past where some of the back girls, like, all of a sudden get a front position for a song, and everyone's like, whoa, what the heck's going on? But then the next single after that, she's gone again, so...
Or, whenever Sayu doesn't have to do uhs and uns by herself.
That's always a big victory for Sayu fans, yeah.
Well, to be honest, if Captain did like Chisa did, I'm bringing it back up again, and actually basically did her own stuff to put herself forward, then she'd get put forward a bit more, like Chisa had to do.
I mean, are you referring to the dance videos that she did?
Yeah, things like that, yeah, because we all know that Captain is an amazing dancer.
Right.
So why doesn't Captain do the same thing?
I don't think that was a Chisa, like, project she did on her own. I think that was something the managers planned out for her, and I think it was something they told her to do, not rather than something.
I know she basically went and asked for extra stuff. I mean, they were telling her that she needed to actually practice her dancing, get her dancing better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why she started doing them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was probably a managerial decision to put them on the internet, and that was when they just went viral. But I mean, because we know Captain's such a good dancer, and everybody would love to see her do solo dancing stuff, why doesn't she do the same thing? She's the leader of the group, for goodness sake. She could just stand up and say, I want to do this. It fits my position, gets me into the front. I mean, how long has it been since she did a solo dancing on stage? It was like, 2005 summer concert?
Not that long. Well, I think the problem
At a Berryz concert.
Yeah, well, the problem here is, it's not fair to compare C-ute and how C-ute they have Ailey, who's always in the front, and Maivy, who's also popular and doing a lot of her own things. So, and how C-ute is a smaller group, and they had last year and the year before they started doing thinking of ways to put forward the other three girls. So with Nucky getting on TV and her own radio shows more often, and the things you mentioned about Chisa, and the past year with how my god, all those push. So it's easier for them to handle C-ute and less budget, I guess, to push the individual members. But with Berryz, it's always been the same way. It's always, we put Lisa Columbia in the front, it sells. Okay, let's just not do anything else because nobody cares, and there's no point.
Yeah, so, I agree with Turbos, because looking at Berryz Kobo, there are potentially 4 members too. They can just rotate at the front. They got Mia, they got Lisako. Momo used to be in the front too, and now that they build up Yulina as well, there are 4 people who can be in the front already. I can imagine the management saying, like, if Captain proposes something to the management, I can imagine the management being like, alright, we don't really need another one to be in the front because we got 4 out of you 7 already. So whatever your proposal is, we can put that aside. Not saying that's what happened, but I can imagine that something like that happened. So even if she wants to do something else, maybe the management doesn't want it, which is stupid.
So, you're saying then she's really
Just
just
pushing and they're not caring.
yeah. I mean, the other 3 members are so insignificant that it's like, even if they wanted to make a breakout of their own initiative, it's going to be stopped by management.
Yeah, because the management doesn't even try with them. They tried with Yunina, that worked, so now they got enough people to be in the front. They don't... Because if you put someone in front, if they put captain in front, that means usually that means they gotta put someone from the front to the back. And they know that would lose sale from the girls who are in the front. So, yeah, I don't think they would even try. Like Turbo said, Q is easier because it's a smaller group, but Berryz,
And they're doing it at 0 budget.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
sure the P League takes some budget, right? That TV show.
Well, that's like using the relationship cards.
I guess everything else definitely it's free. So, in fact, they're making money off of the Chisa thing because all the Chisa fans are going to the solo events and whatnot.
Right.
But it's funny though because like the points brought up of there are more members in Berryz to work with, so it like overall it's more difficult. But then it's really just 2 more members. It just seems like the number of front girls that you have for each of the groups is just less for some reason. In Q, I mean, if Berryz only had, say 2 like strong aces, everyone else could rotate every now and then.
I guess they just don't care about berries as much anymore.
Maybe.
oh,
It's sad though because there was a point when it looked like they would overtake Morning Musume in popularity, but then they just kind of remained the same for the next 3 years after that and kind of
That
died.
was when they started doing the music for Inazuma 11, wasn't it?
Yes, it's anime that ruins all good things in life.
Yeah.
And then then they stopped that and started singing serious songs, and that didn't work out. They don't even sing those songs anymore in concerts. Like for example, Yoga Gelu, that song they haven't sang at all since the release.
That song is terrible. That's why.
That song
Yeah.
is terrible, but
Oh.
that's
I don't think so.
goes to the point.
you like everything, so
Well, okay, the outfit was good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the outfit's good. Well,
Yeah.
no, the song was good, really good. I liked it. It had a nice beat to it. Like most things, but I mean,
I don't know. Now they're back to doing stupid songs.
yeah, well, I'm an HP Kids though, so I like both of the HP Kids groups
Mhm.
more than anything else. So, of course, I'll have bias.
Slightly.
Oh no.
On that note, so this conversation has been going online with the Japanese fans for quite a bit, and that's led to some fan discussion as to like how they could possibly fix the problem, or what advice would they give to Sunku and Upfront to kind of make Berryz popular again. And so one of the things one of the fans came up was that again, this is very biased of course in kind of the standard Berryz way, but take the quote-unquote good members, which would namely be just Mia and Risako, the 2 selling members, kick everyone else out and do a complete reboot of Berryz with brand new second gen members, and just start over kind of like what they're doing with Morning Musume right now, and hope they can do another big hit with whoever new joins, with the older girls still pushing along until they have to graduate because of old age or whatever.
Old age.
Well, you know,
If
I
you're
mean,
gonna do that, you may as well just start all over again with a whole new set of HP Kids or auditions, and just start new groups.
it's
And call it Cherry's Cobalt.
I guess, but then I'm assuming this person is a Mia or Risako fan. They just want to see the good
Yeah.
members
Momo.
still there, everyone else gone because they
Yeah,
don't.
there you go. We've just had a comment from one of the listeners saying that, yeah, that's working out so well with Smilage at the moment, isn't it? Hmm.
Right, but the case that was there that was different there was Smilage was not on the decline; they were on the rise, and
Yeah.
they
And
had
then
some
they just
internal
got
issues.
Screwed over.
Right, so that's not really. I would say Berryz is more of in a desperation situation here. And
I wouldn't say desperate. They're just stagnating. That's all. It's not actually desperate.
that's true.
You, by a show of hands, how many people think they're desperate?
Yeah, that's a good idea
All
for the
right.
show.
Overwhelming vote.
But
They
I
are
mean,
desperate.
stagnating is kind of one of the worst things for in the idol industry. It seems that in the short-term attention span of the fans, it's if you're not growing, you're dying. You know, like they're always talking about if CD sales don't surpass the previous one, then there's some problem going on or something. So
Yeah,
Isn't they are
stagnating,
AKB?
possibly.
Well, there is. It's hard to find a way to gauge an idol's, status, besides using something with physical numbers like CD sales.
Right, right.
Or good
Perhaps they've
sales,
just-
which we don't see.
Yeah, perhaps it's just that the Ultra have run out of money. They spent so much money on them over the years, they've got no cash left.
Well, come to think of it, it's been a while since they've come to Hawaii because they actually skipped Berryz on the rotation.
Well, because they are going to Bangkok
Yeah,
and
they're choosing to go to.
Seattle
And America.
and
Yeah, they've been
Hawaii
doing
is America.
You know what I mean? Mainland America.
Okay, mainland.
Better America, apparently. Yeah, Better America. I'm fine with that.
Well, Bangkok, they're not
Well,
sending the whole group.
which is
No, they're just selling Chinami in Bangkok.
But aren't they doing?
That
Oh,
sounds so bad.
aren't they doing a concert show there?
No, it's a mini show.
It's a mini show.
Yeah, with Captain, Yurina, and Isaka, was it?
Huh.
Yeah. It's messed up.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
But yeah, with this, whoever suggested this idea, I don't think he is very smart. Like, if I was the management, well, first looking at UFA right now, they don't have a lot of people who they can risk making them into the Berryz Kobo second gen. Because if that whole idea fails, they just wasted whoever they put in. So if they put in the good ones, that's a huge risk. If they put in the bad ones, that's not going to go anywhere. So if I was the management, I might as well just start a new group and let Berryz kind of die on their own.
Die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
And if you were the
if-
person who wrote down this plan and you think that being called stupid was bad, email Sanrio at
Yeah.
Takamari.
I think basically, if they decided
it.
to bring in a second gen, get rid of the first gen, yeah, Berryz would die. Most of the fans would leave if they just
I know.
got rid of everybody except Risako and Miyabi. I mean, like, that's only about what 30% of the fan base.
Yeah,
Those
and
two.
also I think a lot of people like the group not just because of the members anymore. It's because the group has been together for so long. They found this attachment to the whole chemistry of the group, at how the girls work together. So if kind of like the Smilage with the with the four girls, if you break the chemistry, there's going to be this huge portion of the fan base who's just going to be like, all right, this group is not the same anymore. See you in the afterlife.
They're just
Well,
like
I-
a modern version of Melon Kanembi.
Well, I don't think this will even happen. The whole chemistry thing, like you mentioned, and how the problem is that the girls are not happy with how they're being managed. Not that they're jealous. Oh, they're jealous of each other, but they're not putting it out there that I'm mad at Captain's mad at Mia because Mia's always in the front and she's not, and it's not the girls being angry at each other. So I don't think it'll break up the way how cute had their members keep dropping out. So I don't think if that is not a problem with the members trying to leave or the management going to break the group up, there's not going to be a way to refresh the group by adding or changing up the lineup, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I know recently Cute said that if any one member left out with the end of the group, I'm not sure if Berryz said the same thing. That if anybody left, the group would just disband.
When did they say that?
I'm not sure whether they did or not. That's what I mean. I remember Cute did.
In your dream.
No, I mean, when did Cute say that?
When did Cute say that?
Not too long ago. don't remember what it was on.
Oh, is it like a TV show or something?
Yeah, it was an interview they did, but I can't remember what it was on.
Well,
I'd
that
watched
sounds
so
like
much.
something they would say.
That's, that sounds like an official, like a very official statement that you would expect an idol to make, but how true that is. I mean,
Well, it
like,
was just-
everyone thought if any of the original 4 Smilage left, the group would be dead. Which, I mean, it essentially
They
is.
are dead.
I know, but like, it's still making singles and
But
stuff.
it's
so.
still an active group.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
still an active- so it's
something
not-
that- yeah.
So as much as people say, or as much as the girls say, it's over if any one of us leaves. It never really is, because I mean the girls in the end still need a job.
And it's never their decision in the end, because if they say, "Oh, we
Also,
want to try
yeah.
to keep you alive in some way," they're not going to be able to say, "No, we're done."
Right.
Yeah.
So it's very, I don't know, very difficult topic.
I was desperately looking to see where I saw it.
I
Okay.
think it was one of the DVD magazines. 26, I think.
Maybe.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
Because I said they've been through so many changes that any more of them would just ruin the group. So they wouldn't want to carry on.
Mm.
But I mean, I think it would be the same with Berryz. Even if they didn't say it, it would be the same with Berryz. Because they've always been the same. They have got
Yeah.
the unique, nowadays, apart from Melon Kanembe, thing of the group not changing. But that's why I kind of think they are like the new Melon Kanembe. Because the interest in them has leveled off. It hasn't really shrunk much recently. It hasn't grown much. But it's got the original fans still following them as loyally as they always did. So they've always got that fan base. I think they could go for years as they are now and not do any lower in their sales, but not really do any higher. And
That's-
still always fill a stadium, not stadium, fill a concert hall.
That's I think I agree with that comparison a lot. It does seem like they are the new Melon Kanembe in that their fan base is pretty much stable, and it seems like they're loyal enough to stick with them regardless of how popular they actually are with regards to the rest of the idol industry. The only thing is that while that's good in one sense, it's kind of makes me worried because with Melon Kanembe eventually, Hello Project just decided to kill them off anyways because they were not going anywhere.
It just petered out in the end.
I mean, yeah, so it's kind of like, if you want to paint them as the new Melon Kanembe, then it's kind of like marking them as putting an expiration
Eventually
date on them
die.
already.
Yeah.
I mean, it means they'll be alright until they bring out an album called Berryz Not Dead.
Yeah, and they replaced like Risako, Masa, and Chinami with like 3 black guys.
Wow.
No, we won't know this, no.
Well, not
Well,
for Chinami anyways.
The major thing with that idea is that if they're going to be this long-standing group, then make use of that. I mean, we do those. Momosu got that 10th anniversary thing where they got a mini group thing and they worked off of that. If you could find a way to do that with Berryz, not a separate group, but work that in, then that would probably work out well. I would think.
You mean the thing with Nachi and Koha and that small thing that they did?
Yeah, well, I mean, just acknowledge it. If you're going to try to make the group kind of like, oh, we're this long-standing group that's always the same, then homage that in some way, make it useful rather than just being like, okay, we'll do cover songs.
I would definitely prefer that to cover songs.
Yeah. Especially Thailand cover song.
Yes. Particular.
And
And on that note, again, let's move on to our next topic. If you want to continue this discussion, start up a thread on our forum or the comments for this show when it comes out. But moving on, so yesterday, as you know, was the start of the Hello Project summer tour. The first show being Kitakore. Yes. Thank you, Nico Nico.
Okay.
And today's show in Japan is for Waku Waku, so also if you're in the area, go to that.
Aku aku!
Smilage says thank you. So, one interesting thing is we see the set list for the SummerCon as people were updating it throughout the concert. We know that Sunku said that Cho Happy Song would be kind of debuted at the summer.
For that.
Right, which was really interesting because I mean I think well, personally, I thought that it was going to be a Berry Q highlight thing, but it turns out that everyone in Hello Project was singing the song, so I guess it's not that special anymore.
Nope.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we have later on in the show the new Smilage single Tsukio Junjo Hankoki. Kind of interesting. What were your thoughts about that? To those of you who have listened to the song,
So well sung.
what was that?
So well sung.
What?
They sang it
Oh,
so well.
sung. Wow. Sarcasm meter.
Yeah, it's about a 9 out of 10 on that one.
It was such an awesome song, you know.
I
I mean,
chose
to be honest,
good singer.
I never like listening to the concert rips of the songs because they don't do the songs justice.
True.
like to
Also,
agree.
it's
It's
bad
like
to
when-
download rips. They're NG. We do not promote rips here, but
Yeah, when
You have to
did,
listen to its official method, though.
Yeah.
Kiss Me Aishiteru. I heard the rip of that festival and it's like, sounds alright. And then the single came out, it's like, wow, this song's just awesome.
Now you're like,
So-
nah.
So hopefully the songs, I hear them now, if I think they're alright, hopefully they'll be awesome when they come out. Who knows?
See, personally, my experience was opposite of that because it was hearing, actually with the same song, with Kiss Me Ashiteru, it was the live that got it going for me, just because you hear all the way that the fans take it and that whole energy, and it just works so much better.
But yeah, there is that, but you can't hear the song itself. I mean, you can tell that it's going to be, a great song to go to listen to live, because you can hear all the chants coming in, but you don't actually get to hear what the song itself is like.
True.
that's very true. For this song,
get-
though, there was very little cheering. It's not one of those like intense songs, so
No.
you would probably
Oh,
sit
you-
down and actually all
Sit
the
down.
I mean no, all the otas were actually joking. Like they said, I went to the bathroom for this song. So
Oh.
that's the kind of song this one is.
Yeah.
But it wasn't very. There was something about the song that seems not, very normal, not their usual fare.
I'm sure
I
in a
can
couple
see
of
that.
weeks or so, someone will post like, "Oh, this song is an exact copy of some other song," and that it'll.
It's actually a Thailand cover.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh no.
Or it's like a Korean cover or something.
Or
It was
like
missing
Singapore cover.
something. Ukraine, that's what it was missing.
Ah, of course.
Right.
What was-
But it's been
Oh,
missing that for 7 months now, so.
Yeah.
Sakchi.
Yeah.
Sakchi Pass.
Don't remind me. Wait,
I still think that it's better than Chotomate. Just me.
Well, a lot of things are better than Chotomate Kudasai. So that doesn't say
True.
much. But so in this concert, we also saw Cute's new song, Aitai 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 Na. What did you
what?
guys think of that?
Didn't leave an impression on me at all.
Yeah,
No.
Reminded me very much of something you'd hear in a music game.
it does have that feel to it.
I'm glad it wasn't a slow one. After having just had a slow song, it would have been a bit silly to do two in a row.
Well, they
Yeah.
did do Kimichari right after it, so maybe the B-side's going to be also a ballad or something.
Maybe.
Yes. But then, of course, we have, after that, Berry's new song, Cha Cha Sing, and we got to hear for the first time Berry's the B-side, Loving You Too Much, which apparently is also another cover song.
It's from the same guy that did the original
Okay.
for Cha Cha Sing. Yeah, it's the same guy.
So another cover song. But interesting thing to note if you get a chance to listen to this song is there's like a huge rap bit towards the end of it, and it does sound pretty cool, although I can't imagine what they're gonna do for the dance of it to match the rapping theme. I guess it's probably gonna look really silly, but to them it probably looks really cool. I don't know.
So epic.
I think really my only comment for that is Captain needs to rap more. And
But then they're making her turn into the second Gaksan.
pretty much.
How she's like, she's there, but she's never in the front. And then when you have all these weird stuff in the parts of a song, you give it to her.
But
Better
that's
than nothing.
I know. I mean, like right now she has nothing, so I'd rather take that than
Yeah, that is better than nothing.
which
I
is a
guess.
sad state for Captain fans.
Right.
But that's kind of what we have to deal with.
Yeah.
Couple of songs after that, we go into, and everyone you guys can thank Shuhei for this because he has been spamming this stupid song like crazy. But Moritaka Chisato's famous, I don't know actually if this was her most famous song, but it's one of her old pop songs that made her famous.
Yep.
Sung by everyone in Hello Project. So if you don't know who Moritaka is, she's an old idol from the 90s, and she was not recently, but she was picked up by Upfront after she was no longer popular, because Upfront likes to do that.
Wow, that's a nice way to put it.
She's
Well,
even older than Yuko Nakazawa. Although not by much.
she was picked up at the end of her career. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
And now
Song is
they're
20
covering
years
her
ago.
songs. Yeah,
it's
but she was
cheap.
really like early 90s. Yeah, I guess it's. I don't know. I don't think anyone wants to hear that song or any
Yeah, no.
Moritaka songs.
That's not the first time they.
It's
did
not.
something like
That's the
this
problem. Yeah. It's.
at
I blame
Hello Project
Shuhei
concert.
again.
Yeah.
But I think just the cover song thing will start to get at people. I know it's not like the Thai thing, but it's just that you're starting to get that impression if you do it too much.
Yeah.
It's like, well, and then they did this song that was a cover, and then they did this song that was a cover, and then you know
They're
you just
lazy.
kind of
You're sort of
Companies
thinking,
lazy.
has Sunku run out of music writing ability?
probably.
Dad, and he
needs
has too much going on.
Since
in
a
his
long
own-
time ago.
own
Well, maybe
interests.
he's putting all his musical talent into his new cafe idols that he's got.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody will have to go there and check. Somebody who's in Japan right now.
Yeah,
No,
we
thank
will.
you.
Yeah, I'll
No,
go.
thank you.
Yeah, go for
Not
it.
there yet,
Let us
but it
know
will
how
be soon.
how it is.
Alright,
Soon.
if TKMR.net pays for me, I'll go.
I'll give you 100 yen.
Okay. That's enough for...
Yeah, I'll give you one coin.
Water.
That's all I have.
Yeah.
Damn, we're all broke.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we finish off with a super huge 20-minute long medley.
20-minute medley.
Yeah.
You missed P-Berry.
Yeah, we're skipping P-Berry because it's P-Berry.
It's got Riho in it.
Okay, well, so Senru, you can give us your breakdown on P-Berry.
Alright, so P-Berry was Liho Liho plus IHO singing some song about
Cabbage.
Satoyama Life.
Cabbage documents.
Yeah, and
Secret cabbage documents.
Yeah. Basically,
cabbage
it's Satoyama Life the musical in
That
4
is a
minutes.
very good description of it,
Yeah,
actually.
that's very good.
They're just trolling
You
their
heard
own
that
TV
next
show.
Geki Pro, right?
Yeah.
Satoyama Life the musical.
Oh, God,
Alright, that's all I got.
I'm not buying.
So
the
that's it for
microphone.
P-Berry.
Oh, God.
Hopefully the other group, DIY, will be better. I doubt it, but
Sponsored by Home Depot.
yeah.
Black and Decker.
But DIY stands for Dance in Your Heart or something like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but that's
Which-
just a
which they
double,
got-
you know.
Well, the
They're
funnier
just
thing is that they got Ikubo Haluna in the group who can't dance.
That's
Right.
she's going to prove you wrong tomorrow or today, actually.
I hope so, because the dancing is...
She's gonna do that JoJo move in the middle center of the stage.
Oh man.
Go 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 go! Yeah. All spotlight's gonna be on her, and then she's gonna make you eat your words.
Oh, man.
Okay.
So,
Alright, back to the...
super
Better
medley.
Medley.
Pretty cool. They go through a lot of old songs. Nothing really stood out that made it different from other medleys. Just although particularly this time I did like how they remixed the intros to fit into the other songs as they were transitioning into.
Yeah, that was great. I
Mhm.
think that worked really well.
Yeah, and they fit a couple of older album songs, or not older album songs, a couple of not widely performed album songs that I did not expect, like Morning Sume's Bravo and Berry's Yononaka no Barairo. I did not
Well,
expect
would it-
this.
What that felt like to me was they were trying to. It seemed like, you know, that's usually the songs that you get near the end of the concert, and it sounded like they needed to string them all together.
Like,
'Cause, I mean,
for
Dance
time
Day
constraints,
was
or...
And then, even Koko ni Iruze and Bravo.
Mhm.
Those are those songs that you get. That's like we're near the end of the concert. Let's pump everybody up songs, and it
Mhm.
just felt like let's string them all together. Even Tsukija, that's kind of, you know, the song that you get near the end, and then everybody's like,
Right.
ah.
So,
and then you just
just a
them
reminder
all-
for everyone again, though, actually, Suki-chan, they're doing, if you saw on their YouTube channel, they had that ballot thing, and all the different girls, they're doing an 8-member Suki-chan chant now. And so it's 8 different girls, not of Smilage, that you'll cheer for every time, and some girls have 2 different shows that you'll be cheering for. So if you're going to a SummerCon show, make sure to please look at that chart so you don't cheer for the wrong girl. Also, they specify the name specifically.
Do they put it on the screen or something? Or
Yes.
is,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
on the
that's
screen.
There's there's a chart.
well, no, I know there's a chart, but if they don't put it on the screen at the concert hall, then it must get kind of awkward for the people who weren't paying attention to the videos.
Maybe.
They probably do.
I'm pretty sure at the point when that girl sings a line or comes out in the front of the stage, the camera will be on her and she'll be on the screen, and you should know who she is to yell her name.
Yeah, most youngsters can recognize the girls by
Who's this one? Oh
Thanks.
no,
That one young girl.
someone.
The short
Suki-chan.
one.
Yeah.
But then you just get the really awkward, like, Suki-chan, Suki-chan, Suki-chan.
That's what
Yeah.
it sounded like at times for like Haruka and
Oh, Suki-chan.
Sugi-chan.
When in doubt, yell Yuka.
Yeah. That's a new rule also.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
solid.
Yeah.
and so I know most of us were unable to attend the
Wait,
concert.
and the last. Wait, before we
Sure.
go over the last song, so they sang Chotomate Kudasai with just Mileage, and then
No, no,
they
no,
ended
no, no, no.
everybody.
That's with everyone. That's
Oh,
that's a
okay.
typo.
But still, way to kill the mood with that song.
It's a very weird way to end the song. Yes, I'm not sure why they did that.
Okay.
I don't think anyone really knows.
Because they probably thought after the medley, the 20 minutes medley, the thing got too awesome, so they gotta, bring it back down a bit.
Like several notches down.
Yeah. Oh,
I guess that makes sense.
man, that sucks.
I think
Yeah.
that just because they used all their pump-up songs in one medley, they didn't have any songs left.
Wait, then again, what was the Mano announcement done straight after medley? Because if so, they wanted everyone depressed.
The
No,
Mano,
the Mano announcement
very
came way at the beginning.
Yeah, right after
that's-
the
Oh.
opening VTR.
They did it wrong, you see. They should have done it the other way around.
That...
Right at the end, Chotomate
Yeah,
Kudasai.
chotomate. I'm leaving. Bye.
Awesome way to end the show.
That would be.
See, they don't need Sunku, they need me. I'll get
To
whole
troll all
project
the
turned
fans and make everyone want to kill you.
around. Yeah,
Well, all the
everyone wants to
Manofure.
kill me anyway. None the Westerners do, so I might as well get all the people in Japan wanting to hate me as well.
That works.
I know they do
Nice.
anyway.
Nice.
So, initial Japanese fan reactions to the concert is kind of like usual. This time, we've seen for a couple of years now that summer and winter cons have been split up into 2 patterns, usually A and B. And this one, Kitakore, seems to be the new songs, and everyone is expecting today the Waku Waku ones will be the good songs.
So they're saying the new songs are not good,
Well, that's, I mean, like overall set list
implying. Okay.
implying. So we'll find out when people are tweeting live updates about what's going on for this one. Hopefully, there's no other announcement as well. No other graduations or whatever. But we'll see. A couple of interesting things about the rest of the concert, aside from the set list, is for Morning Musume's 1, 2, 3, the light equipment, or the light effects that they used were the same effects that they used during the Girls Award performance that we saw, that we got to see video of, and so it had all the color changing whenever they did like the 1, 2, 3 and the chorus and whatnot, and in general the reaction was when they did that Ai Shiteru like sequence, the lighting sequence made the whole thing look really cool, just kind of how we all saw it. So
Nice.
again, definitely if you're in the area, go check out the concert. And yeah. Last thing, in regard to the concert by itself, so since the name of the concert for this particular pattern is Kitakore, Makoto has his Kitakore corner, which is kind of like what has made you excited recently. And on the first up for the MC was Ikubo, and of course, yes, it is another JoJo related story. She tells everyone that the JoJo manga series is becoming an anime this October, and blah blah blah. She's really excited about it. And speaking of anime, so they'll be looking for seiyus to voice all the different characters and all that stuff. And Haruna wants to be a seiyu for JoJo. I'm not sure what role she would play, but maybe
For voice.
JoJo. I don't know.
Done.
I don't know any of the characters, but
No idea.
yeah. But anyway, she was telling everyone how she told Sunku that she wanted to do some voice acting for anime, and Sunku's like, "Good job."
Good for you.
So
Good
maybe
for you.
maybe Ikubo would be the next Kirarin. Maybe like Harujin
Oh.
or something.
Oh.
No, Suka doesn't care.
Too old. Yeah.
Turbos, can you give us an impression of doing Haluna doing Seiyu of JoJo?
No.
No.
Oh, come
What
on.
is this, like Turbo's Deli or something?
Yeah.
What? Daddy couldn't know.
Maybe if Deadly-kun comes back on our show, but until then, no.
Yeah, we need that.
Well, Deli-kun's kind of busy, so
Yeah.
we'll see if we can book him for next week, though.
Okay.
Alright. Look forward to next week.
On to our main topic, I suppose. The Mano graduation. So it was announced. Yes, in case you didn't know. It was announced yesterday, and she'll be graduating. So interesting thing is that she won't be graduating at a holo concert. It'll actually be her solo concert, which is, I don't know, kind of good and bad. Let me ask you guys: do you think that she'll be inviting guests to have a ceremony for her at her solo concert?
Yes.
I mean, like
Yes.
Momo,
Yeah.
or a close friend,
No.
or is she just gonna do it
I'd say
like
yes.
by herself, or like Manatee's gonna give her a flower or
Well,
something?
do you guys remember when Gotomaki left Hello Project?
Wait,
Well,
when who?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, I remember she
Well,
had it.
before my time.
When Gotomaki left Hello Project,
Yeah.
it was only a solo concert and there was nobody else.
But
Scared,
Kotomaki
so
was.
Yeah, but
Kotomaki left on like because she wants to leave.
also she had a really strong character, and she's not like the cry type like Mono.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm referring to is the ceremony part. So
Ah.
there wasn't no
I
guess or
thought
anything.
there wasn't a ceremony. I thought she just
So
read
yeah,
a
so
letter.
it's- Yeah, so something like that. I'm thinking Mano's gonna be like that as well.
I don't think Mono can emotionally handle that.
Okay.
That's kind of weird. Kind of what they should do is, I mean, all of Mano's fans are Manofure, they're Mano's friends. So they should get them up on stage, get select fans.
And what, put
But we're
Mono
all
in the
Mano
audience?
We're all
Yeah.
Mano then. What?
They should have they should have a lottery where some of the audience get to come up and say how much they're going to miss her.
That's more of
That's a
a
bus
fan
tour
club
thing.
event. Yeah.
Yeah, that really does sound like a fan club thing.
I need
Yeah,
to
no.
get in contact with them, get them to do that one.
That's
Right.
Bus tour.
I think she will have guests because, like you guys said, there's the emotional thing and the character. You know, Mano is not the strong character that she can pull off like a graduation and look good with just herself. So
Her and
And-
her
and also-
piano.
yeah, she can say goodbye to her piano, I guess. And but I think if they got someone else to be on stage with her, like her closer friends, it would look much better than just herself. And for that reason alone, they should have someone.
One of our listeners just wrote that Mano's last album should be called No More Friends.
Oh,
That's a great name.
Yeah.
That's
That would
very-
almost make me want to
ouch.
buy a copy, but I still
That's
would not buy a copy.
Damn.
Yeah, that's
So
very
true.
creative. Yeah.
It should be more like leaving my friends. Or abandoning my friends. That's like,
But yeah, speaking of that graduation ceremony, so there was a Barks interview, as they usually do, on the day of her graduation announcement, that quoted an earlier interview they did with Mano when her new song was being released back in June. And in this interview, they asked her like a huge list of questions, but among them about the lyrics specifically for the new song, Song for the Date. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes.
Whatever the newest one is.
such a fan.
Yeah.
Manofure.
The white and black mono song. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Good enough.
Funky
Yeah.
state.
So at the end of the song, there's a certain line that she sings that says "Owari o Tsugeru Toki," which is loosely translated like when the end time is near or when it comes. And so with respect to Mono, the interviewer asked, so how do you ever think of this, like of your end time in as an artist in Hello Project? And for Mono, those lyrics really stuck to her when she went to see Gaki and Aika's graduation concert this past May. And what she noticed was that in all the graduations that she's been to, and the one she's seen, particularly this Gaki and Aika one, Morning Musume, as a group, you always have these ceremonies. That's kind of the tradition. And you have, 10 so girls crying and giving you flowers and giving small speeches and whatnot. And it's essentially a group thing. But for her, she's a soloist, so she doesn't get that. Her ceremony, she knows it's going to be by herself, unless like we were talking about, there's some guest or something that comes on. And that's, I don't know, and it's kind of a weird feeling for her, but like when I read that, it sounds like a more depressing thing that's coming out of Mono than just kind of a generic observation or some sort of statement.
Very sad.
It is kind of sad. So one of the things is, and Mono goes on to say, well, the thing is, I guess it has its ups and downs because she's been a soloist her entire time in Hello Project. I mean, not counting Ongaku. I mean, her major activity, she's been a soloist most of her career, and so the benefit to that would be after she graduates, nothing really changes for her because she's still a soloist.
Right.
It's not like she has to adjust to not being with a group anymore or not being around other people or relying on other people anymore because she never has. It's always been her working for herself. So it's kind of interesting, and then this kind of goes back to also her actual speech, her graduation announcement at the concert. To me, when I listened to it, I got the impression that it was very rehearsed, kind of like Gaki's. It was very cool, and she was not that sad about it. I mean, she was not crying about it. So maybe this isn't as big of a deal as all the Manofure think it is. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts?
Well, she's not sad now. 'Cause
Well,
still
it's
months away.
it is still far away, but
It's hard to say, what's really going on in her head because there's so much time left, and we're still kind of in the air about what really could, come from this. We know that she's graduating Hello Project, but apparently she expects to still be doing the same things, sort of expanding her horizons. Air quotes. So
it's interesting, like that she expects to do. Well, it sounds like she expects to do the same thing, except without the singing. So just the dramas, the plays, and the musicals.
Piano.
And, no, forget the piano. She sold it to Costco.
she traded it in for a shopping cart.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
But I mean, it sounds like she knows what's ahead. Well, she knows what she wants to do as soon as she graduates. But some of the Japanese fans are saying, like, she should realize from what has happened to pretty much all the Morning Musume OGs that it doesn't work out as easily as she thinks it does. I mean, is she being a little naive with how much she thinks she can get accomplished by herself? And maybe does she not realize the amount of connections up front actually has to help her get into whatever job she wants to get into?
Well, it's not like she's leaving up front either. Just Hello Project.
Well,
sort
yeah,
of,
she's leaving Hello
supposedly,
Project,
so.
but
I don't. It's a hard question because I've always imagined that one of the reasons that people decide to graduate if they do on their own is because Hello Project has a very tight schedule. The only time that they seem to get that free time to be out of a to do something like a drama or something is if Hello Project's running that in the background. So
That's
if she
a really
really
good
wanted
point.
to take that step, she would need to say, I gotta stop doing the Hello Project stuff because that takes up a lot of time the way that they plan out my schedule.
Thing is, though, I mean, we've seen like the past maybe 2 years, or more, at least the past year, her schedule's kind of died down quite a bit. Like at the beginning, she was doing the same concert tour schedules as all the other big groups, but since her popularity has died down, she's kind of she does maybe a fall or spring tour every now and then, and like even then those shows are like 4 or 5 shows, not a full tour. So we got a user comment saying, I think you're reading too much into her official statement. It's not her graduation statement, it's an interview, so that's not what she said when she announced her graduation. I assume,
Yeah, when she announced the graduation, it was kind of to the point.
yeah, it was like, I'm gone, see you guys. Keep buying my stuff. I mean, so I assume in this more, well, from Barks, who knows how openly candid this interview is, but I mean, there were a lot of questions, so I don't think she was trying to like hide anything or have that idle front about any particular response. And I mean, she does address straight on the fact that she is alone for her career as well as this upcoming graduation, although at the time there wasn't announced, but so it does sound like it is something on her mind. And there was another thing, I think it was a Hello Channel interview or something with Mano. Turbus, do you remember?
No.
That are okay. We
Yay.
will skip that then.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. On to the next thing then. So
Right.
one of the interesting things is coming from Sunku's official statement that was made on his blog as well as the official Hello Project site. Was that in the middle of the statement he says that at this time, after the 2013 winter concert and during Mano's solo concert, we will allow her to graduate from Hello Project. It's kind of hard to phrase in English to get the same meaning across, but it's what is that called in English? The passive verb or something?
A causative passive?
Causative passive, yeah. So coming from Sunku, if we want to get technical about it at the linguistic level, it sounds like he's saying that from Hello Project's point of view, or well, he's trying to make it sound like Hello Project is holding Mano's career back and letting her go next spring is what she needs to move on to bigger things in her life.
Basically, they're being irresponsible and not taking the blame.
Right. So I mean, let's talk about that. Like, what do you guys think about that statement? It's pretty interesting the way they phrased it. Like, because when I read it the first time, I thought like, wait, did they make a grammar mistake or what's going on?
Yeah, it was a little bit weird, and it kind of seems weird to say that you're giving somebody permission to graduate, because
Right.
we often think that it's like, oh, well, I'm leaving, bye, and then they just kind of walk out the door. But it does make it sound less like, oh, we're doing it
Kicking
because
her
she's not
out.
selling, yeah, or something.
Yeah,
There's
they're trying to
less force
avoid
in it.
the "we're firing you" thing as much as possible.
Yeah.
And
Well, to
they're
be honest,
yeah.
sorry, with when they announced Sakichi's graduation, they kind of basically says that we're allowing her to leave. You know, she wants to leave, so we're going to allow it, along with lots of other things.
They
But-
also phrased it similarly, yeah. But in that one, they also applied that she was being irresponsible, and so we're letting her.
Well, they didn't do that with but then that's because she was young still. She hadn't been in the group for very long. But Mano has been
Right,
slowly declining in popularity for a while,
right,
which was a shame.
right.
But yeah, it is interesting wording.
It's
Some of the other stuff Sunk said is quite interesting. As well.
yeah, but I mean, I understand, I guess, how from a PR perspective, maybe you have to say it, but if you are any sort of at least a minor fan of Mano, you probably know that that's not how things work in Hello Project. It's not. I mean, yes, Hello Project, it can be argued that they're holding back people sometimes, but for Mano to say that, to play it off like she's gonna move on to bigger things now after her graduation, that's almost an insult to the Manofure out there.
It's very funny.
Well, or you can take that point on it, yeah.
It's funny they think it's funny they're trying to make us believe that something bigger is gonna come out of this when we all know there isn't.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny how he thinks that such a statement we would actually believe it.
I really don't know what.
But I mean, in text you have to write it like that. You can't say, "Oh, we're firing her," because
Well,
she's not making us money.
I mean, like, I would have thought that they would just take the neutral approach and be like, she's just graduating, you know.
Yeah,
the
I
normal
don't think-
phrase, not this like, oh, we're gonna let her go so she can get on with her life.
It's interesting though that this statement was signed by Sunku, and he's not really responsible for Mano's career at all.
That's also.
And
really
how he
true.
has to say it this way.
Right.
But everybody sees him as responsible for everything within the project, so it's like him
I
being
suppose.
the, person to be blamed again.
True.
But Turbos, do you want to bring up what you mean, or more information about that?
Hold up.
Okay.
He's
So
forgotten what he
You're on the
said.
ball tonight.
Damn.
I think it
For
was.
a lot of the statement, I'll just say it. For a lot of the statement, he is kind of speaking as if he's representing the company, though. So
No, I actually I was referring to, there was a Barks, I think it was a Barks interview or a Spoonochi interview. They were saying that when Mano was in her time in Ongakugatas, it wasn't actually Sunku the one who chose to take her out and make her a soloist. It was the record maker or label maker or whatever. Maybe that's in her official statement as well.
yeah, it's in his official
I think
statement.
it is.
He mentions it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, like there, he's kind of saying already that it wasn't even his decision to make her a soloist. And I think if you followed Hello Project for at least a year or so, you probably know that most of the major decisions come from higher ups, anyways, and Sunku is just kind of the face of everything and just
Right.
kind of gets the credit.
Figurehead.
Pretty much.
I think she's going to dramas now. Full
That's what she wants to do.
time. I mean, you can forget Hanban Esper. You want complete Esper.
Complete Esper
Complete.
for
Just moved on.
the next 10 years of her career.
Yeah, well, why not? I've always got to learn other new things. As Sunku said in his statement, after she graduates, I feel I want her to challenge herself steadily with acting, singing, and other new things. So she hasn't done acting yet. But then again, if you've seen Hanban Esper, you'll agree she hasn't done acting.
Right.
If you've seen Kamen Rider, you can tell she hasn't done acting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Staying in
Or
that.
singing.
She does a decent transformation. I'll give that to her.
That's not acting.
That's close enough to acting for
We
a
can all do
project. It's
Yeah,
pretty
we can all
hard.
throw our hands in the air and say the word henshin. I think it's not too hard to do.
she,
Although her
Style.
her not acting is a talent in that one because she had to be completely normal while everything around her went bat crazy.
Right.
I'll
Nicely
give her that.
self-censored there.
That does take a lot of skill.
All right.
But then again, one thing, it does her, well, I think anyway, that her graduating does actually open the gates for an announcement later on in these concerts, or maybe in the winter concerts, for a new soloist.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
is possible. And I think we all know, right, who you're thinking of. But actually, the Japanese fans are all thinking that it's most likely Aika going to be filling in the role since she's already a soloist.
Maybe, or maybe they
Or
could
both.
bring Kika back in. Properly. They keep getting her in all the shows. They've been easing her back into the...
Yeah,
she's
but
not
then
selling, so
Kika's selling like 1/4 of Mono, so I don't think so.
And that's with Sony backup
That's
too.
yeah, and that's
That-
with like good
it's not Sony,
PVs
it's,
and good songs.
Universal.
Oh, just had a statement from one of our listeners saying that the new soloist will probably be an 11th gen loser.
Could be.
Interesting.
Awesome.
It could be like the next Yukirin, except
all
not
up
going
in
to
the air.
AKB.
Yeah.
Interesting. but
Hollow
not
Pro
really.
was born from the losers. No offense.
Yeah, it was.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
It better be Karen or I'm rage quitting.
Okay, bye.
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 You can graduate with me.
Yeah.
You guys can have graduation event like how Smartish has it.
Well, okay,
Oh,
so
well,
you get the CD release event, and I get Mega Bank 6.
Konya will talk about it.
Okay, so I get to leave Tower Records.
Yeah,
I would graduate at a mall. At a mall.
a mall event. So sad.
He's getting ejected by security.
Yeah, free. I might
Free handshake.
last event at Sunshine City.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know, do you guys think that there will be a... Because they've got to have some kind of soloist.
That seems to be. I mean, that has been the formula for the past couple of years with Mono, and people are seriously expecting someone. They don't know who, but someone to fill in that soloist position.
And the way I look
Hopefully
at
somebody
it,
with a Ma in their name so that we can keep the name, but you know.
but the reason that I think that it's possibly going to be Karen was because how it in Sunku's comments about how she got very popular whilst being an egg, and that was like, what does it say? Yeah, she's saying how she was like kind of a bit unstable when she was an egg in dancing and singing and in the shadows, but then she kind of got drawn forward and got very popular all of a sudden, and that's kind of like with Karen, to be honest, because a lot of people are going, well, you know, she hasn't quite got it, but she's getting good at singing.
I kind of.
This is why I think, because she's, I mean, when I was at the Kika release event for Happy Rappy Sunrise, and they had the 2 eggs at each event. Well, Turbos was there as well. The amount of people who were there just to see Karen. I really remember that, Turbos.
Yeah, it's
Right,
it's an
right.
interesting thing. I mean, again, with what Sunku says is always odd, but it doesn't seem like anyone in upfront actually thought Mono had potential at the beginning. And it was only after they released that first Ongaku Gata's single that they noticed everyone, for some reason, was talking about Mono rather than anyone else in the group. Mainly because she was so cute in the music video.
Side ponytail.
Yeah, that side
Yeah.
ponytail is kind of a killer. And she didn't even sing. I think she had like one line.
She had one line.
Yeah.
Right near the beginning, though.
So I think everyone knew that. I mean, it wasn't like a talent-based thing that they were expecting out of Mono.
No.
And so I don't think you can make the same comparison for Cotton, even though if you were to do that, Cotton definitely has a head start in terms of, you know,
Well, I mean, they can write whatever they want in the
Yeah.
announcement statements now, so...
it's so retrospective that they can say whatever
Yeah.
they want. It's to play it out however, whatever image that they want to go for. So.
to make it all flowery and nice.
Right.
Yeah, I have a feeling that maybe perhaps they don't even want to try to have a soloist anymore, because so far
That's
they
also
have had.
possible.
Yeah, they had Mano, which, you know, as we can see, didn't work out too well. So, and also they don't have a direction for Berryz right now. They are not. Smileage is not doing well for them either. So maybe they're just going to cut a soloist. It's downsizing, but it doesn't look like a huge downsizing. But if they cut out Mano, they would have they would have more resources to put onto the other groups and hopefully bring up the 2 that are not doing as well. So I think, you know, Kalin as a soloist would be awesome, but I would still want Kalin to be 11th gen into Morning Musume instead. So for me, I think they can just cut out the soloist. They don't need one at the moment. Seeing how the other groups are doing, they don't need to build up someone new at the moment. Maybe except Aika, that would be cool. But yeah,
Yes,
'cause-
please build up Aika.
yeah,
Please.
Aika as soloist,
Yeah,
that would
more
be
Aika.
awesome. But yeah,
Aika cooking time, please.
Cool.
I've got a feeling that we need to end this discussion on soloists because we've had a comment in chat that somebody wants Mogi as a new soloist.
Okay,
No,
that's
no.
the end of this
That's a good place
topic.
to end it, I think.
Oh,
Too far downhill.
I just did Sporotech. He didn't see it, but now I laugh.
And that's... I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Well, that being said, we'll summarize. Goodbye, Mano. Eventually, you're going to go away in 7 months, 6 months.
To better things,
soon.
like more common.
Yeah, to better things. We're hoping. Acting, you gotta be aggressive though. That's the thing. Work on your own. If you're listening to this, which you might be. And no Mogi. And more Aika. That's the
more
summary of our entire discussion.
Okay.
But if we're all good, I'll take it away from here while we wrap up
do.
this week's episode. Okay, let's wrap up this week's episode. A lot going on takamario.net if you guys are watching this from YouTube or on Justin TV as a recording. Our website, takamario.net, where you can go to find out lots of news about HP and former HP in this case, because we'll probably keep talking about Mono for a while. This week we got a lot of things going on. We've had reports going up, well, the past 2 weeks since we weren't on last week. We've got reports going up about events. There was a Suzuki ID handshake event that we've got a new entry for by Jack Sunreal here.
Yeah.
So go check that out. Good report. Give him a good job. Thumbs up. Evaluation of the 2012 Momosude lineup, which is done by our writer Gordo. If you guys don't know him, he's got good things going on. You guys can check out what he's written. Give him some good feedback because he is our editorial writer, so to speak, and he'll give you those things that you might not agree with, and you can give him good counter feedback. As always, we've got Takamata Mondays that come up on Mondays, Radio Fridays that come up, and we just put up yesterday the translation for the graduation announcement, so if you guys aren't sure exactly what we're talking about, you can check that out there. If you guys haven't seen the Takamata pick for this week, you can always check that out as well. This one's kind of a find me. In this case, we're asking you to find the Momo fan in the scene. It should be kind of obvious. Although we'll get a new one later up today, probably, or tomorrow. So go ahead and check that out while it's there. As always, if you want to... Yeah, it's not Edipon. That's your hint. As always, we've got lots of ways for you to give us feedback. You can comment on any article on our website, takamario.net. Leave us feedback in threads or start new threads on our forum. That's forum.takamario.net. Or leave us information on Twitter with our Twitter, which is at Konya TKMR. As always, if you're listening to this on Justin TV, you can also get this on YouTube, which is YouTube user Konya TKMR, or on iTunes, although I'm not sure what our iTunes user account is.
I also don't know, but it's a link on our website, so click on that.
Yeah, it's linked on our website, so check that out. Again, takamario.net, and emailing Sunrio at takamario.net if you have any problems with anything that we've said or he said.
Mostly what he said.
Yeah, mostly what I said.
That being said, that should be everything for this week's episode of Konyama Takamario. That is episode 35, if you guys have been keeping track. So for S. Ferris, Turbos86, Sanrio, Ouroboros, and actually a hidden listener, and for all of you viewers out there, this has been Invis and Bye Bone.
Bye, Mano.
SUMMERTY, summer party!